guys, Kelly here. Today I have a full body yin class for you. So the yin again is going to be a bit slower, well definitely slower, working more with stretches and restoration of the body than strengthening flows. So we're going to be working from the crown of the head down all the way to the toes. Again, I like to get really cozy with sweaters and fuzzy socks and everything when I do yin, just so that I'm making sure I'm most comfortable when I'm moving into some difficult stretches. Okay, so 2 blocks and a strap for our class today, and we'll go ahead and get started. So first you'll want to start in just easy seated pose. And go ahead and rub the hands together as fast as you can to create some heat. Close your eyes. And then when the hands feel warm enough, go ahead and place them over the face, over each of the eyes, and sort of cup and just feel that heat. Take some deep breath in and out of the nose. And go ahead and release the hands back down to the knees. Drop the right ear towards the right shoulder head. If this feels like enough, stay here. If you'd like to go deeper, put a little excess weight into this left shoulder pushing down, and then bring the right hand over to the left temple, and then physically help yourself, help the neck stretch deeper over to the right. Gently release the right hand, release that extra weight through the left side, and slowly pull the head back up to neutral. Second side, left ear drops to the left shoulder. Stay here or drop a little extra weight down the right shoulder. The left hand comes across the head to the right temple and physically helps to pull that left ear down. Gently release the left hand. Release that right side and bring the head back up to neutral. Now go ahead and interlace the hands behind the back. Shrug the shoulders together to push the heart forward, and now swing your hands over to the right side. So what this looks like from behind. Interlaced hands, shoulders shrugged together, swing the hands over to the right. Now, as if you have a thigh master between the elbows, pull the elbows towards one another. This will pull the shoulders together, push the heart more forward. And then drop, play around with dropping the ear towards the left shoulder. Get a nice stretch. And then the other side, right ear drops to right shoulder. And then pull the hands back, keep them interlaced, squeeze the shoulder blades, swing over to the left, thigh master between the elbows, and then play around, dropping right ear to right shoulder, and then left ear to left shoulder. Go ahead and gently release, bring the head back up to neutral. One final stretch on the neck. Interlace the hands, bring the hands behind the head, and then squeeze the elbows around the temple. Stay seated tall, and then drop the chin down towards the chest. Gently come up and release. Alright, so next you'll want your 2 blocks, and you can place them either the medium height or the low height. So the higher that the blocks go, the more intense the stretch is going to be. I'm going to do medium. And you're going to want to place them relatively close to one another and parallel to one another, so they'll look like this on your mat. And this part of the block, we're going to have a shoulder blade rest on each block. There are 2 ways to do this. Either without the strap, so no strap. My bottom will stay on the ground, hips on the ground. And I'm going to align myself so that my shoulder blades go on the block. And then from here, my arms can reach up, or I can slowly start to grab hold of opposite elbows behind the head, and then allow that weight to drop me back. And this feels so good. If you want to go deeper, you can grab a strap. Make sure that it's shoulder distance apart. About that. Get yourself set up on the blocks. And you'll want to kind of finagle it so that your head and hair are in front of the strap. But this here helps with the strap to not only keep the arms engaged and sort of pulling closer, but it helps with the weight drop too. And it kind of can create a little hammock for your head as well, depending on where the strap is. Two more breath here. And slowly release your strap if you've got it. Gently lift yourself up. Oh yeah. Feels so good. Go ahead and move your blocks out of the way. We're going to come into, let's go into pigeon pose. So, right leg forward, the shin as parallel to the top of the mat as you can. So if you do have to keep the heel in, that's totally fine. You might need a block handy as well. So the left leg is going to extend back. And if I have to lift my right hip up off the ground in order to square my hips to the top of the mat, then I want you to grab a block and place it underneath your bottom. And then you can readjust this front foot if you need to. Keep the toes flexed to protect the knee, and then you can come down onto your forearms here. So, pigeon pose. Now, stay in it or make your way into it as I talk through this next part, showing you from the front what this looks like. So front foot is as parallel to the top of the mat as possible. My left hip here is rolling down and in so that my hips are square and even to the front of the mat, and then my forearms can come down. Now, yours could be with this heel closer and with a block underneath the bottom. So you might be here instead, okay? Keep holding, couple breaths, couple minutes. Go ahead and walk yourself back up. Swing the left leg forward and around. Pull this right heel closer in towards the left hip. And then the left foot is going to plant to the outside of the right thigh. Left hand reaches behind you, hand pops up onto fingertips. Inhaling, right arm reaches up, lengthen through the right side. And then exhale, hook the right elbow to the outside of the left knee and twist, looking over the left shoulder. Nice and easy, return to center. And switch sides. Left shin's going to go down for pigeon. Right leg reaches back. Left foot as parallel to the top of the mat as possible. Block underneath the left bottom if you need. And if it's okay, if it's available, walk forward and forearms down. Pigeon pose, second side. Gently walk yourself up. Swing that right leg around. Pull the left heel closer in towards the right hip. Right foot plants outside the left thigh. Right arm reaches back. Inhale, lengthen through the left side. And exhale, take your twist over the right shoulder. slowly unravel. Lean back and extend the legs out in front of you. So we're going to go into a forward fold to stretch the hamstrings. You might need your strap, and you might want a block or two. Now, if you tend to be tighter in the hamstrings, then I want you to open the legs so that the feet are about outer hips distance apart, so there's some space in between. And as you fold forward, you want to build a little block building in front of you. As you fold forward, you can rest your forehead on the block wherever you land. So the blocks are really great because they bring the ground up to you, and they sort of quiet the ego as far as when the mind tells you that you need to get all the way down to the knees or the ground. The blocks bring the ground up to you. So when you're forward folding, go ahead and pull junk out of the trunk. So you're going to widen the bottom flesh and the sit bones away from one another, and then stick the booty back like you're trying to push it up against a wall or something behind you. So this already here starts to get me into a forward folding action. If I were to stay with the bottom tucked under and try to reach forward from here, I'm starting much further back. So junk out of the trunk, sit bones wide, push the booty back and wide, and heart forward. Now from here, inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, fold. Wherever the hands can plant, bring them down. If you want to, again, have a little block building ready for you, you can do that. If the toes or the blocks just look way too far away, you have your strap that you can wrap around the feet, grab hold of, and use this to help pull you forward instead. It's usually easier when it's not looped up, so let me show you what that looks like too. Because then you've got one in each hand. Makes it really easy to pull yourself forward more. So long strap around the balls of the feet, and then from there you can pull the hands back, the strap back, to bring the heart forward. Okay, so whatever variation that you need, I'm going to just keep one block for my forehead, and my hands can reach my toes. But as you fold forward, you're not rounding and pushing up through the shoulder blades. You want to keep the heart melting down towards the mat, towards the knees. I'm really thinking of looking forward, as if as you fold, you can like inchworm the heart and the head a little bit more forward, more forward, more forward. Okay? So resting here a few minutes. And just like with all yin classes, the longer that you hold, the more that you're going to feel open in the body. So if you can adjust and go deeper at this time, we're about halfway through, then you can go ahead and make those adjustments and see if you can go a little bit deeper comfortably. gently make your way up. Awesome. Next we're going to go into frog pose. It will be our second to last pose. So your blocks and straps can go off to the side. And you're going to come onto your hands and knees, and I'll show you from the side first. This one is great to open up the inner thighs, the groin, and the hips. So you'll start on hands and knees, and then you'll slowly start to walk the knees out from one another. Okay? So I'm in a wide shape here. I'll show you from the side as well. So starting, and then I walk my feet and knees out. And when I come into it, I want my ankles to be right underneath both knees. So both legs are at 90 degrees. And then from behind, hands and knees, walk the knees out, line up the ankles and the knees here. Okay, so this one can be very intense, and it's going to feel, your body's reaction is going to be to kind of drop the pelvis forward. I want you to keep it pushing back. So if the hips stay in line with the knees and you don't go forward at all. Okay? And then from here you can come down to the forearms if it's comfortable. We're going to hold here for about 20 breaths. Okay? So again, keep that keep the bottom weight sort of pushing towards the back of the mat, and that will definitely deepen the opening. We're about halfway through. You can go deeper and come onto your chest then. Excellent. Otherwise, stay where you are. So it feels so good. Two more breaths. So now to come out, you're going to do what the body's been wanting to do. Push forward, drop the pelvis, and just sort of scooch your legs closer together. Whew. Go ahead and spider fingertips off to the side, shoulder heights. Tops of the feet push into the earth. Inhale to pull yourself up for a cobra. Just take a few breaths here. Gently release. And then go ahead and roll into your backs. We'll end in Shavasana. And because we did total body, this is where I'm going to leave you today. So please take as long as a Shavasana as you need. Just really allow yourself to feel heavy and melt into the earth. Take a couple deep breaths to settle in. And rest here for as long as you can.